Rock 94, classic rock, new rock. It's Brad Hilgers, and a pleasure to have on the phone with us singer from Econoline Crush, Trevor Hurst. How you doing, Trevor?
Great, Brad. Good to talk to you.
Well, thanks for being on the phone with us here today, and thanks for coming to our little party next week.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is cool. You know, we're going to be giving away a major prize. We don't know what it is yet. We know it'll be worth at least minimum $20,000. We're doing that night, and then we figured we'd hire a band. So why not bring in Econoline Crush?
That's amazing. Well, you know, we always hold Thunder Bay near and dear to our hearts, and especially the Crocs and Rolls.
Yeah,
because we were making our way across Canada.
Yeah,
our very first time to go to Canadian Music Week because we had some interest from some labels. So we're trucking across Canada. And, I mean, we are in a school bus where the brakes don't work. We're, it's just madness, complete and utter Canadian madness. And we get to Thunder Bay, and we literally do, like, a little bit of mathematicals, and we say, hey, I don't think we have enough to get across the Canadian Shield to make Canadian Music Week. I think we're cooked.
Yeah.
I think if we head back now, we'll just make it to Vancouver. So we go into Crocs and Rolls, and we talk about it, and we go, you know what, but who cares? It's for first time in Thunder Bay. Let's leave a good impression. Let's play like, this is the last night on our ginormous Canadian tour, and it's just been an amazing success. And, so we just got into the headspace. We went in there, and we just rocked it like, like Econoline Crush likes to rock it.
Yeah.
Well, the guy running the joint, Frank Lafredo at the time, comes up and he goes, oh, my gosh, I had Bad Brains in here the other night. I've had all these bands, and you guys are amazing, and what's your story? And so I sit down, I tell him, I say, Frank, we're trying to get to Canadian Music Week. We're out of cash. We're going to turn around, but we'll come back next year. Will you have us again? And he goes, no, you're ready now. This is the time. Strike while the iron's hot. Listen, you got some time? And I said, yeah. So we ended up playing a couple extra days, 3 extra days. He gave us enough loot to get us out to Canadian Music Week. We played there at the Rivoli, and EMI saw us, and a bidding thing happened, and we ended up signing with them. And so really, Thunder Bay to me and Frank Lafredo is the reason that we kind of got our start at the time we got our start.
Well, that's an amazing story. So that's awesome, and we're glad you're coming back. So now the party that we're throwing for you here, this is kind of an appreciation party for our listeners. So it all kind of fits in nice, I
know. I mean, it's a perfect tie-in. I thought when we started talking about it as a band, it came across our desk as, hey, this is something we were going to do. We were all very excited because it seems like sort of one of those moments where everything sort of kismet lines up, and we're having some fun, and we get to celebrate, some great rock, and we get to kind of go back and kind of relive this moment. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Now you guys as well. You're coming from all over the place, aren't you?
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because as a band, over the years we've all lived different places, and we've all spread out again. I'm currently going to university in Brandon, Manitoba, but there's 2 guys live in Los Angeles, and our drummer lives in Edmonton. So we're coming from everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we get together, we rehearse, we write songs, we do stuff like that, and then we go out and we'll play some shows, and then everybody goes back to their respective corners, and it's good. It's good that way. Okay,
so now this is a private party. Now we should mention too, of course, most people know you're staying for another show the next night.
Yeah.
But this private party you're doing for us, is this? Okay, I know bands do private parties all the time. What's the weirdest one you've ever done?
Well, I remember very very early on in our career, we did a Super Bowl thing somewhere like in Calgary, Budweiser, or we did it for somebody, and it was like, I don't know, the room was giant, everything was just expansive, and I bet there was 100 people there, and so it just was the most bizarre thing, because here we are, we're playing in this lit-up football field vibe beer gardens. It really wasn't that well attended, and it was just like, what is happening?
Have you done some really cool private parties?
Yeah, I mean, there's we've done openings of places, and I can't even think of like what's the most. I mean, our style of music isn't as sort of cross the board accepted, maybe in terms of corporate culture. So we're not as invited to those events, let's say, as some bands are. Some bands, their music just is kind of on and it works, and it's sort of like, Jewel will say she can go and play Target things and stuff because it's perfect, right? It's not going to offend anybody.
Exactly.
And that's so those are the bands that get a lot more corporate stuff than Econoline. Something where that offensive, but there's just a chance that something may come off the stage that might freak somebody out.
Okay. I'd go see you at Target, just so you know. So.
Okay, good. Thank you. Well, maybe you could tell the executives there that we wouldn't be harmful.
Okay, good. So now with you guys are all doing your own thing at the, but then you get together and tour. What about writing? Do you guys ever have time to write together?
Yeah, we try and coordinate that sort of all in the same. We kind of come in and do some writing, do some rehearsing, go and play some shows, talk about the show, the songs while you're out on the road, talk about. It's kind of like this massive brainstorm that goes on while the touring goes on. It's like because it's the only time really any of us at this point in our lives can kind of get enough time to talk together and work on things.
Mm-hmm.
And we also do, I'll fly down to Los Angeles and work with Ziggy and Rob down there, and I mean it's a great environment, and there's lots of they have a lot of stuff hooked up and down there, so we can work very well and efficiently.
Now you yourself lived down in LA for a while though too, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Because I remember years ago you were in the studios with us here, and we were talking about the difference of growing up in rural Manitoba and hanging out on the freeways down there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it truly, and then now I'm back in rural Manitoba, and I could see the pluses and minuses to all styles of life, in all different places, and I definitely enjoyed my time in Los Angeles, and I wouldn't be adverse to going back there, but there's some charm to living a rural lifestyle as well.
All right. Well, hey, I got to thank you for spending just a few minutes with us here today. We sure appreciate it.
No problem, Brad.
And we look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
All right, Matt.
All right.
Take care.